So I've been trading for 5 years now, boys and girls, and I actually started off trading CFDs. So anyone like CMC Markets, IG, Vantage, you get the idea. Those are CFD brokers, okay? And you can typically trade things like the US, what they call US 500 or NAS 100. So you can trade indices with CFDs as well, which is what I was doing in the beginning. But I just wanted to talk about this. Recently this year, I made the switch over to trading futures. I've been trading CFDs for 4 years, and this year marks my 5th year in trading, and I've done it entirely trading futures. And I just want to give you my experience and my opinion on why I believe that if you do trade and you are looking to trade professionally and make a full-time income and be in the game long term, why I think you should ditch CFDs. Again, this is not financial advice, it's just my opinion why I think that futures are the way to go if you are going to be trading, making your living from trading, and especially so if you are a intraday trader or a scalper such as I am. So I've switched over to futures this year. I'm never looking back, and I'm going to get into why. I'll explain why I think futures are superior to CFDs. And the first thing I want to say is that this is not very well known to most new traders, because I suppose with CFDs, you know, the benefit of these is that you can see, number one, you have high leverage, right? With CFD brokers, they are very willing to give you high leverage, meaning you can put in a very small deposit to get started, right? You can literally start CFD brokers with almost any account size. I think my first account I ever opened was with IG Markets, and I opened that account with $50, and I went into trade crude oil. So I get the appeal, right? Very high leverage, small capital required to get started, and that's as opposed to futures where typically you're looking at like a 500 USD deposit to get started. Even then, you can only trade micro contracts on some instruments. So I get the idea of why, I get the appeal of why people do trade CFDs. I just want to get that out the way off the bat. But the main danger, the main problem I have with CFD brokers, and this is actually not known by a lot of newer traders, with CFD brokers, your broker, they are not only the person who you route your orders through, if you want to say that, but they are also the market maker. Okay, so they actually determine the prices and the spread and everything for you. Okay, so they are the ones who determine price. And you'll notice this if you look on TradingView. You'll notice that if you have, say, Euro USD as an example, as a pair, and you look at one broker's pricing for Euro USD, and then another broker, say Black Bull Markets pricing for Euro USD versus IG Markets pricing for Euro USD, the prices are almost totally different. Even if you especially look at the indices, so say NAS 100, if you look at NAS 100 and you look at the pricing on one broker, say Black Bull versus IG, you'll notice that the pricing is totally different, okay? And the reason for this is because when you are trading through a CFD broker, when you place your orders, your long and short orders, you are not even trading directly on the market. You are trading on an overlay, a simulated overlay that your broker puts in place, okay, to basically simulate the environment of the real futures market, the underlying market, okay? So you are not even trading, your orders aren't even going to the actual market, and what's worse is your broker can see your orders, see your stop loss, see everything. You are trading an overlay of the market, and the pricing is all determined and set by your broker. And there's an inherent conflict of interest in this, okay? A good way to kind of use an analogy is that trading CFDs is like you're playing say a soccer game, and your opponent there is both the referee and the opposing team against you, okay? So they set the rules, and they are also playing against you at the same time. And there's a good reason that CFD brokers are actually illegal in the USA, right? USA has banned CFD brokers because a lot of these brokers now are offshore and unregulated, so neither you nor your money are safe. Now, this is in comparison with futures trading. If you're trading futures, we are all trading on the same exchange, okay? No matter what broker you use, no matter who you're trading through, we are all trading on the same exchange, okay? And your broker, all they do for you is they are routing your orders to the exchange, okay? They have no conflict of interest. They're not trading against you. They're simply routing your orders through to one centralized exchange, okay? What that means also is that we will all see the exact same pricing on this exchange. We're all going to see the exact same price. One person trading futures watching the E-mini S&P 500 is going to see the same pricing that you see trading the S&P 500. And especially for your ICT traders, it's especially important that we see the actual real-time price of the futures market, because that's where we're basing all our levels off, you know, fair value gaps, swing points. All of that needs to be perfectly accurate to what is actually being printed on the markets, rather than what you might see on a CFD Brokers chart. Okay. Now, this exchange that we are all trading on in the futures market is completely regulated, totally regulated, and properly regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Okay, and regulation is a good thing. Contrary to popular belief, regulation when it comes to trading is a very good thing. That's meant to be a thumbs up. The next thing is that in CFD trading, you have your spreads, right? Now, spreads are a normal part of trading, that's true. However, I'm sure you've had this experience, especially if you're an intraday trader, a scalper, just as I am. You rely on, myself personally anyway, I rely on basically a 5-point stop on the S&P 500, a 20-point stop on the NASDAQ. So fairly tight stop. Now, when I was trading CFDs, if I'm trading the NAS 100, okay, and I've got that 20-point stop, and I'm getting quoted spreads at one price in 1 minute, and then mid-trade, the spreads then increase on me, and if price is close to my stop loss but hasn't quite stopped me out yet and is just doing a general retracement, if price is close to my stop loss and those spreads widen, well then my stop loss gets hit, even though price hasn't even reached my stop loss, okay? And it could be quite far away from where my stop is actually placed, and I can still get stopped out because, again, the broker conflict of interest can widen the spreads at any time. Whereas in futures, this is very, very important for me, especially guys. In futures, the spread almost always is one tick. Now, unless you're trading news or there's a black swan event, the spread is basically always one tick, okay? So I'm not going to have to worry about the spread suddenly widening on me. And I can place my stop loss at 20 points or 5 points. I can have a nice tight stop loss and not worry about spreads widening on me and taking me out of a trade, even though my trade has not yet been invalidated based on the price that has been printed. That's extremely important. This is a huge one for me. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've been frustrated, wanted to absolutely just teabag my computer because of the fact that my CFD broker widened the spreads, took me out of a trade, locked in a loss, even though the trade ended up going my way anyway. Okay, so that's a huge, huge factor as to why I left CFDs for futures and why I'm finding futures to be far superior. And overall, guys, I just find that the futures market is a lot more professional, okay? The big boys trade futures. The big boys out here that are making their living as a professional day trader are trading futures, okay? It's a very professional market. Much more easier to measure. It's a more level playing field. Yes, even though the barrier to entry in terms of cost is higher, I believe that it's well worth it, and it's actually a good thing, because if you think about it, those CFD brokers, of course they have a low barrier to entry. Of course they let any Billy Bob sign up with any amount of money because they're literally there to take your money. Whereas with the futures exchange, and guys, normally it's not that bad with futures brokers. I think with Tradeovate, the minimum deposit is 500 USD. I'm now with AMP futures. I couldn't tell you what the minimum deposit is, but I put in $2,000 for a small account challenge I'm currently doing. So it's not that bad. To top it all off, if you're just getting started in trading, I can see the appeal of CFD Brokers. Easy way to get your feet wet and dabble in trading, learn how it works, and you know, trading Forex is fun. I will say I do miss trading just straight spot Forex. I really love trading Euro USD. I do miss that, but I'm afraid the cons of trading CFDs are far outweigh the benefits of trading currencies like that. And once I made the switch over to trading futures, I've just not looked back. I mean, I purely trade the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 now, the indices. And a lot of people who do use CFD brokers, you know, especially online in this ICT space, a lot of us do trade the indices. So if you are specifically trading indices as well, my personal opinion is that trading those indices directly on the futures market is the most beneficial move to make, especially if you're looking at doing this long term and professionally. I made a video like this in the past, and I got some comments from some fools saying, you know, this guy's a clown, whatever. Think what you want to think. This is just my personal experience, and trading CFDs is far inferior to trading futures directly. And I'm never looking back, guys. I'm what, 8 months into trading futures now, and it's no coincidence that it's also been the most profitable 8 months I've ever had in my 5 years of trading. That's a combination of experience, but also I believe it's due to the platform I'm now using and trading directly on the futures market rather than trading on a simulated CFD dodgy broker. It's, yeah, just far superior, guys. Anyway, just a quick one. Wanted to put that out there for you. Catch you next time.